Eaton Supercharged LTD LX has popped another piston, this time in the new Dart 363. You can hear it at the top of first, and by the time it's pulling through the traps, it's really limping. The puff of smoke coming from under the hood, you can see it just above the steering wheel, was a sure sign that all was not well. Since this is the second time it's lifted ringlands, I thought it was time to get the injectors checked out and cleaned, just to be sure they weren't the problem. I'd heard about this guy Eric Durr on the forum. Supposedly he had the right equipment and was only charging $50 to do 8 injectors. Other companies charged around $160 or more to do the same thing. He seemed well respected, so I sent him an email and asked if he'd give the LTD's injectors the full treatment and if he would be kind enough to take some pictures and video with his cell phone for me. Here's what I got back. Here are the 80-pound injectors as I sent them to Eric. The first thing he did was pull the O-rings off and give them an ultrasonic bath to clean the outsides. Here are the new screens and Viton O-rings he'll put on. Viton is a nice step up from the original O-rings. Here he blows out the old fuel. Next he puts the new O-rings on so he can mount the injectors into his ASNU machine. Apparently that's the industry standard machine for cleaning injectors. First test is a leak test at 80 psi. All the injectors pass. Then he checks the spray pattern. Again, they're all pretty good. These particular injectors have a very narrow pattern. Next he checks dynamic flow. Eric measures flow by mass rather than volume. This makes sense to me since the injectors are rated by mass. Then he does a static test of the same parameters. The previous test pulsed the injectors, here they're held wide open. Then he pulls out the screens. The injectors go into an ultrasonic cleaning bath to clean the insides. Then the flow tests are performed again and the results are recorded. The test fluid gets blown out of each injector. Eric blows a little light oil through each injector to make sure the internals don't get stuck. Each injector's coil gets measured. All that data is then written out onto a report. You can see the injectors were pretty good to start with, and Eric made them better still. The injectors are assembled, individually packaged, and shipped back. Eric does a great job at a great price. Now I can be sure the next time the LTD blows up, it wasn't because of the injectors.